The hero's journey, as it was laid out by Joseph Campbell, it's the basic structure that he found in most great mythic tales. The basic element is it's generally centered on a young man. The young man begins at home or in a comfortable place. The young man is called to adventure, oftentimes by a problem, perhaps something threatening his community, or perhaps some event that breaks the peace within that realm. He goes out, faces challenges. In the ancient myths, he's oftentimes fighting monsters, demons. As the myths become more modern, say the Iliad and the Odyssey, he's going out to fight other human beings, but human beings, all of this is being influenced by gods, both good and bad. And in all of these stories, the hero overcomes the enemy or the obstacle after a series of trials, and then takes that thing that he has obtained, brings that back to the community. And so basically the story, the hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell tracked it across all of these different myths, primitive, Western, Eastern, and even modern myths, is the story of a young man coming into his own. It oftentimes accompanies rituals of initiation, and it allows that young man to identify with that hero. And even if their story will not end up being of the grand cosmic significance, at least it will inspire them to become some approximation of that, some of that energy, and bring that forward to tackle their own trials and tribulations. Joseph Campbell points to these overarching elements in these stories in which the young man is overcoming some problem. An innocent who is in the world, like a small world of the known, out into the unknown to confront some sort of adversary, and then the victory over that evil, or the acquisition of that boon, or both, and the return home. Sometimes there is the temptation not to return home, the temptation to stay out. Especially for young men, the hero's journey is important because it gives them a sense of what they may confront in the future and the proper response to confronting that evil, or confronting that adversary, or confronting the worst parts of oneself. So for the young man, it orients him. And for the man in his prime, I think the hero's journey hopefully gives him some fabric, some matrix to understand how he got to where he's at, and to be able to reconcile himself to perhaps some of the failures early in his life, and to continue to fight and be a victorious or a successful person regardless of those failures. And for the old person, for the person who has lived their life, I think that the story of the hero's journey, hopefully, if he's lived his life well, provides some sense of satisfaction that he himself has been, if not the greatest and most cosmic of heroes, a hero nonetheless. And if he's a good storyteller, he can convey not only his story to the younger generation as inspiration, or even as a cautionary tale, as a warning, but also, if he's a great storyteller, to be able to tell the myths of the culture, the wider myths, the cosmic stories of the culture, and weave them together with the various human lives that he's come into contact with, and give the young people a sense of where they themselves are going, just repeating the cycle.